I give word to next speaker, Zigmars Rendenieks, University of Latvia. The floor is yours, and the presentation and poster, how the past can help the future, the utility of historical declassified satellite image data for ecological research.
Yeah, thank you. So I made like a traditional poster instead of couple slides. So I hope you are okay with that. So basically, my presentation, the purpose of my presentation is to tell you about a unique and promising data source, which is declassified historical satellite image data, which is falls like under the remote sensing portion of the topic of this conference. So it's quite different from other presenters, but I hope you will enjoy. So everyone like kind of more or less knows about modern satellite image data, but these historical images are lesser known. So and what I focused here mostly on the on satellite data from 60s and 70s, so which were actually the very first photographic satellites ever created. So it's the beginning of the space age, when the Americans were forced to accelerate their military surveillance after the shooting down of the famous U-2 plane over Soviet Union. So they needed an orbital platform, and they developed a very clever and ingenious design for that. So it's like a engineering solution to combine high resolution and large area coverage with rotating panoramic cameras, which resulted in stereo images captured on film. So it was a pre-digital age. And these images now have been declassified and available to anyone through United States Geological Service data portal. So, and it has been increasingly used by archaeologists, geologists, and also ecologists recently. So what I very briefly will mention what are the first results of my study about the mapping of forest change from end of 60s till our time. And but the main focus is the utility of these image data and compatibility with modern satellite imagery. So these are, as I mentioned, scanned film images. So they need to be pre-processed with a fairly complicated workflow, which is using stereo, taking advantage from the stereo capability with structure from motion, photogrammetry, and object-based image analysis to extract features. In this case, they are like forest areas, forested patches, which are like basis for mapping the forest cover in any time point, and then later combined with modern satellite imagery to create timelines for producing maps and for precise assessment of forest areas at any point of time. And the first results showed that it was the study was divided in Soviet period and post-Soviet period, and the forest cover increase was like 16% from 1967 to 1991, and then just 11.8% after from 1991 to 2017. And this is also analyzed, these maps are analyzed using landscape ecological metrics. So it quantifies the change in spatial pattern. And it also showed that progressive homogenization and forest cover using different types of landscape ecological metrics. So there are like a couple images which show like a really interesting story about this Corona space program, how these pre-digital images were captured and catapulted to Earth, and also the basic principles about this photogrammetric processing and using modern photogrammetric software. And the basic conclusion is that these images are available these days, and also automated processing workflows are published and more and more often used to extend timelines, like combining with for example, Landsat satellites, which end with 1984, which was the earliest images, and then combined with Corona or Argon or Hexagon images, are just enables like to add like 2 decades of data to your timelines, and greatly helps with this research. Thank you.
Oh, thanks a lot. Questions? Juris Reimanis, yes.
Now, some activists say that Latvia is deforested, that Latvian forests are consumed excessively. You have shown that our forestation has increased during independence by 11.8%. Can you confirm this, and what is your viewpoint on this?
Thank you for the question. It's actually a very it's simple and very crucial question, which gets to the heart of this study, because here is a very important distinction between land use and land cover. So you have all these reports from like foreign researchers which quantify like similar like this, using satellite imagery, automated processes which quantify forest cover. But they don't quantify for land. They quantify land cover, but not land use. So land use is this normative use of land. So when, for example, the forest stand is harvested, their clear cut is being done. The forest cover disappears, but land use is not changed. So the forest forest management cycle includes also this deforestation phase. So if we are just talking about a moment in time, and we only stick to the strictly to land cover, then it's true that at this precise moment the forest cover is decreasing. But if we talk about land use, this forest land is not converted to agricultural land or grassland. It remains a forest land, just like a passing phase in a forest management cycle. Then we cannot. So we have to draw the distinction between land cover and land use.
Well, but satellite data gives just land cover and not land use.
Yeah, this is the problem here, that you need additional data. For example, like forest inventory data, for example, like which these researchers from other countries often don't have access, so they rely only on satellite images. They don't it's good if they use like timelines, so they can some kind of in a way they can quantify whether the deforested land is returning to forest, or it's converted irreversibly. But basically to be sure, you need to add additional data sources which tell something about the long term, like the normative use of land.
Okay, thanks a lot.
You.
Question from my side. So, as I understand, you can estimate all Latvian territory from these images, right?
Yeah, these. So these images are unique because they can not just that because they're historic, and they also high resolution, and they cover how to say wall to wall. You can you can map the entire Latvia, for example, and I have done that, and I have like a scientific publication in progress about these results, also including the processing phase. Yeah, so it's possible to map areas without gaps.
Okay, it's quite wonderful. And just for curiosity, is USSR spying satellites? I assume they have similar equipment. Is this data available for American or European sites?
It's I didn't put a link here, but you can just like go to there is the US Geological Survey data this web portal which is called Earth Explorer, and then you can like or you can just contact me. You can find my email on the University of Latvia domain, and then you just can, or you can just Google corona data download, and then you can. These images are for free, but only if someone has requested them earlier. So, but for the entire territory of Latvia, I have purchased, well, you have to pay, images themselves are free, but you have to pay $30 for scanning. So this is actually, yeah, they are scanning with a 7-micron special scanner. So these are high resolution scans for these film images. So, but yeah, but the entire Latvia is available so for download for free.
Yes, thanks a lot, and it's very interesting information, and maybe our center also will be interested in historical data comparison with nowadays data.
Yeah,
yes,
thank you.
thank you.